Philip Sherwell is the Asia correspondent for the Sunday Times. He joins us now for more on this. Philip, it seems like this crackdown is really growing over there.
Yes, all the indications are that the military has decided that this is the time that they have to start to break these protests. They have been going on, as you said, for 10 days. The numbers have only been growing in the face of threats and intimidation. Just as we're coming on the air, there are reports from Mandalay, which is the second city of Myanmar up there in the north. There are reports of the security forces opening fire on crowds who are protesting there. In Yangon, the main city, there have been photographs of the deployment of the 77th Light Infantry Division. Now, the significance of that is this is a very battle-hardened division who have fought ethnic minority insurgencies for decades, and were also deployed on the streets of Yangon in 2007 when there was a brutal crackdown on a previous uprising. So, you know, the signs are that the military is getting very serious here. People are undaunted. They are fearful. They are scared. They are worried. They know the precedent of what the military have done, but they are not. They're remaining on the streets. Last night, the army deployed armored personnel carriers to certain key areas. They were trying to reclaim the streets at night where neighborhood watch groups have been on the march. There was also an internet lockdown, a shutdown again last night, as the army tried to disrupt the ability of the opposition to communicate with each other. But none of these moves have so far succeeded, and so there are now these indications that that a much harsher crackdown could be on the way.
Philip, all of this coming as Aung San Suu Kyi was due to have a court appearance today, a court appearance that was postponed. What more do we know about that?
Yes, so obviously Aung San Suu Kyi, the leader of the elected government, the leader of the National League for Democracy, which won a crushing victory in November's elections, which the military have claimed was the subject of voter fraud, and that's their justification for seizing power. She was arrested on the day of the before dawn on the day of the coup, and in the search of her house, the military found what they claim are unauthorized walkie-talkies. Now, these would have been used by her staff to communicate probably with security officials, but she has been charged with illegal possession of these walkie-talkies, and that actually is an offence that carries up to 3 years in prison. She was due to be, we believe she was due to be appearing in court today, although maybe virtually by remote. Her lawyers were informed today by the judges that appearance has been put back for 2 days. We'll see if it actually happens then. There are worrying signs, though, that the military, they're trying to raid her National League for Democracy offices in Yangon again today. They've raided her charitable foundation. There's signs that they're trying to look for evidence, and when I say evidence, that's the military's evidence that they could put together perhaps a harsher charge against her of some sort of financial crimes or manipulating the election results. And there are also the moves by the military to use the law against regular protesters in a much harsher way. They've released a statute today that allows for sentences of up to 20 years in prison if you are deemed to have been hindering the defense services in their legitimate activities on the streets. So, you know, these protesters, if they're trying to block soldiers or security forces as they walk through the streets, they could be held liable of this very serious offense. So we are seeing signs of a military crackdown. We're seeing signs of a legal crackdown. All the indications are that the army, which has completely underestimated the strength and the durability of the resistance to their rule, is about to take much harsher steps.
Philip, thank you for that. Philip Sherwell there reporting for us from Bangkok.